Let me answer all your questions. And Dejan says he's late. You're right on time. This is the most important part, right? Anyone hear of Scam coin? Persepolis, but not real. Yeah. Let's see. Timecone's got a good point. Don't forget to put aside for your taxes. Wash trading is super cool, so know what's happening to your taxes by December so you can wash. It's a great point. And also, CoinLedger, who I've worked with now for over 2 years to do my taxes, and I trust them. They actually did my taxes. Well, actually, they didn't. My CPA did my taxes, but the software itself did my taxes. I've been talking to CoinLedger, used to be called Crypto Trader. And I said, hey, look, I need some kind of portfolio manager. I need you guys to build that for me. So what I want to do is I want my portfolio to be available and show a cost-based analysis across all exchanges and all wallets and all DeFi and everything that I have. And then I want that to be able to take that data that you have and put that in so I can actually do my tax instead of screwing around and going all over the place. They said, sure. So they built that for us. And I get to test it out this month. So I'll let you know how that goes. And it's free, which is great. So you'll be able to put everything in there and you have your portfolio. And some people say, well, Rob, I have a portfolio tracker. That's okay. You can do whatever you want to do. I will just show you the things that I use and iTRUST. iTRUST. Timecode said, I've DC'd at the top. Not a good strategy. Look, man, it's the same thing like in 2017. I remember when I bought Bitcoin at 17,500 and I was like, wow, that's stupid. And I bought Ethereum like 1,000 or like, no, $600. My God, it's so dumb. And then I got Cardano at like 20 cents or something. This is as things are going up. I'm like, that's awful. It'd never go back up there. And of course, we see Bitcoin go to almost 69,000. We see Ethereum go to $4,800. We see Cardano go to $3. It's just time. That's all it is. You hold it in cash till the next bottom buy Bitcoin. That's just it, Dan. Like everybody's got an idea of like when the bottom is. Like this is the bottom. This is it. I don't know. And there's always going to be someone who will tell you, I know, I called the bottom and I called the top. Yeah. Or, I'm a trader and you take my course and it's only $1,000. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, look at that. Benny's here. As long as Russia-made software is not using GOST encryption, I'm fine with it. The Demertasia does a really good work on Twitter to get rid of a bunch of scammers. Thank you, sir. Caspa is more crazy. Caspa. Well, I would like to see what the holders of that are. Yes. Nice green screen. The Shaolin said Toncoin is associated with Telegram, which is huge in Russia. Russians are probably trying to save their money from crumbling rubble. Who knows? Yes. Yeah. Yes, that's also true. Gary is a huge manipulator. Wow. Andrew says, I buy on Kraken and I get charged about $40 to buy a whole Bitcoin. Yeah, as you go up in that spectrum, the bigger you buy, the less the fees are. And if you're like huge in, institution, you don't pay squat. I mean, you can take a look, even the quarterly report from Coinbase, it'll break down where all the revenue comes from. You know where the most of the revenue comes from? Us, from retail. And actually, the majority of the revenue now is coming from subscriptions like Coinbase One. Very little actually comes from the institutions that are using OTC service and things like that. Just that's how it goes. George thinks there's something fishy about that. George is probably right. You got that few of holders. Look, man, I'll tell you, like when those guys talked to me it was 2 projects, as a matter of fact. I'll tell you one of them. One was Icon. And I'll tell my private group the other one later. But Icon, they just pumped the hell out of that. And really, it was just them talking to each other. That's really what it came down to. Yeah, and time cone, I do tend to sell my winners too early, selling a third when something 3x has worked for me. Yeah, why you, that's the thing. There's a quote from Buffett. Don't cut the flowers to water the weeds. Essentially, you know, we cut off our winners too fast. And that's why this last time I did pretty decent, because I just was stubborn. But at some point you have to let go. Actually, that's not true. I mean, at some point, even Warren Buffett's going to take some profits along the way. That thing that we just showed you about as far as Coca-Cola, I'm sure at some point he sold a little bit of that Coca-Cola. Not that I'm saying that Warren Buffett's a Coke dealer or something. Cat with a K. How many cold storage wallets do you use and how many exchanges? Sorry with the dog. So I've got like about three nano ledgers, which is overkill, let's be honest. And then use Tangem and LEPAL. Because I never know. You know, like if you're going to spread things around and diversify your portfolio, why don't you diversify your cold storage devices, right? And as long as they work. So that's it. And as far as exchanges, I use two. I use Kraken and Coinbase, and that's it. And the reason why is because I'm an American citizen. So people are like, Rob, you got to use Binance. Can't use Binance. Couldn't even use Binance when it was here. Binance US, didn't work for me. And that's it. So yeah, I am going to sign up. I do have it on my list though to sign up for crypto.com. I met those guys in Korean Blockchain Week. Seemed decent. Tony, is there some way to borrow fiat with Bitcoin as collateral, medical expenses? I mean, there used to be ways. I don't know if Coinbase was going to roll that out for retail, but then they didn't. Now it's for institutions. If anybody has an answer to Tony, please put that in the comments. I'm not for sure, Tony. Yeah. Nick T. Pod says the DTCC, the world's largest security settlement system, processing 2 quadrillion annually. Never really knew that was a real word, but it is exploring Chainlink to unlock tokenized assets interoperability. The same thing. There was a test transactions with using Swift, and they used Avalanche. Well, they used Chainlink for the base layer for tokenized assets, and it went off without a hitch. That's Swift. This was just 3 weeks ago or so. So this is why I invested into Chainlink. And it could be huge. Just depends on if they're going to continue to use it. Swift is an archaic system, costs a lot of money, and they actually lose funds every so often. Yeah. Philip says, how can I limit my fees buying crypto in Canada? First of all, never use kiosks. Those are worthless, I think. And the fees are astronomical. Second of all, I don't even know what exchanges you guys have over there. I think you guys have Coinbase, do you not? And if you have Coinbase, you can sign up for Coinbase One. Again, there's two options. It's either $29 a month, or if you want to pay for the full year, it's only $19 a month. So Ben just did, I think, his second or third video on Bitcoin dominance. You can check that out. Do you think Jerry can come back for a hypercycle follow-up? That's in the books, as a matter of fact. It might be next week or the week afterwards, not for sure. Thoughts about Web3 gaming and AI as DGen plays? I think gaming's huge. I think it's going to be great. The problem is that the games suck, and they're doing it wrong right now. Sorry, they just are. Like maybe when Big Time comes out, it looks like a pretty good game, but it's it's graphically intense, and I know people are playing it right now, and it's not just. I don't think everybody is allowed in so far, but I still think it's going to be casual games first, which will bring people into Web3 gaming because it's simple, and that's where we get the massive, the more people in. And I think play to earn gaming is dead. Like Axie Infinity, grinding on a game is not going to get gamers to come into gaming. Grinding on a game is not going to get people who are casual gamers to come into games. Games that are fun and that actually they can win a little bit and maybe a little bit of a gambling aspect will bring people into games. All the rest of that junk is going to be gone. I doubt it. Ben made a very small video of 53 minutes on Bitcoin dominance. Thank you. And I think that's it, everybody. Chainlink and Quant. Yeah, and Jeff is, this is it. We all know crypto is risky, but risk versus reward is too good not to be in it to win it. I think this is the only market where you can, I mean, in a flash, really in a flash, and that's why we're these 4-year cycles that you can really you can do really well if you time things somewhat correctly. If you stay in and don't really care too much, it's not like the old days of, you know, investing into real estate and trying to build things up and then getting renters in and then making sure that they're happy and then dealing with all the problems that they do and destroying the house. And it just takes forever to turn big profits. And that's why people got into like flipping houses and stuff like that. And now, of course, we go in traditional finance and S&P 500. What is that? Between 7 and 9% annually per year, which is great. I mean, how long is that going to take for you to actually, you know, move the needle? This market is one of the few that you can do those things, but it's also super risky. Yeah. Paul says, gamers actually like grinding. It passes their 650,000 empty hours like that. Trust me, they want to play fun games. Yeah, they do suck. You're right. Travel 11. Nakamoto games will conquer the space then. Perfect. Those are very simple games. They don't work all the time. I've played it. My friend Steven is always talking about it. I've tried it. And I'm like, whew, hope these games get better. But everything's new. Yes. Rob, you're always on point. Optimistic and pessimistic at the same time. Cautiously optimistic. Hey, Shannon Miller. Got here. Ooh. Dan, Digital Asset DJ got laid off in May. Congratulations. It's happened to me a couple times too. Luckily, I saved enough to make it a 2025 bull run in DCA through mid-2024. I got a job in fast food. Hey, you get a job at Buc-ee's, $20 an hour. Jeff says, I'm contemplating buying AVAX, especially with the price at rock bottom. I have it set up. I think I buy AVAX every 2 weeks or something like that. AVAX could be big. And that's just it. Like, you'll notice that on this chart that it's a lot of different cryptos, right? A lot of different ones. It's because it's the same thing that for Warren Buffett, he talks about. He goes, look, it's just out of all the decisions we made, it's been 11 that's really skyrocketed Berkshire Hathaway. And we do our best due diligence, but really just comes down to sometimes just timing and luck. And for me, I think it's the same thing with crypto. I mean, I don't know which one is going to, pop off. Maybe tomorrow Cosmos becomes the national currency of Australia. I don't know. Who knows? Or, Elon Musk says, what we're going to use for the currency of X? It's Chainlink. And then it blows up. It's too tough to say. So I diversify a little bit. And no one knows. And if they say that they know, they're full of it. That's my opinion, though. That's right. Spray and pray. Do you have a list from the last cycle? Let's see. Luna. I bought a lot of Luna. And I sold a bunch of it. And I thought, maybe I should start dollar cost averaging again. And I did, and I lost all that. But thankfully, it wasn't a huge amount. Let's see. Last cycle was very boring. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. I had very little Doge. I sold all my Doge on the night that Elon Musk hosted Saturday Night Live because I thought there's no way I can go above that. One of the few times I was right. Cardano, I had a little Solana. Dot, didn't have any Polygon I can remember. Chainlink. Yeah, not much. Sandbox. Oh, Theta. Oh, I was big in Theta. And Voyager. Oh, yeah, I had a lot of Voyager. Lost all that. Gala, I believe I had. No, I didn't have any Gala. That's all I can really see in the top 100. So, yeah. I felt like a pro catching the Luna Eyes of the grave. A lot of people did. Mike says Theta's a pumper. Let's hope so. I still have quite a bit. And, oh yeah, I had VeChain, that's right. Oh, and EOS. Yeah, EOS. That's a good question. Where would you have been if you just DCA'd Bitcoin and put it in cold storage? Let's find out. So let's say I started to dollar cost average Bitcoin on January 1st. And I think $100 a week sounds realistic over time. Here's what would have happened if I would have done just Bitcoin. And this is the great thing about this tool is that you can use this. You can sign up for Ben's site. There's a free tier, links in the description, or you can get all the extra stuff, and it's like, I don't know how much it is. It's like $16 a month, and then there's like another tier, another tier. I don't know. So anyhow, it's not that much. Think about it this way. I invested $17,600, and I would have had, if I would have DCA'd Bitcoin, $125,000. Which is, you know what's even funnier? If I would have lump summed on January 1st, 2018, if I would have lump summed $29,800, which is how much I put in over, these years of 2023, I only would have had $122,000. So I know people say, oh, you got to lump sum, you got to lump sum. Wait a second. Not even. It doesn't always work out like that. And that's why I love this tool. That's it. And also, when people say, oh, these S coins, hey, don't knock it till you try it. Because you might want to notice that the top S coin, Doge, is $3.2 million. If you would have been $100 a week in 2018. And not only that, I would like to show you something. Because I know people sometimes laugh at the idea. They're like, Rob, why do you invest in the Dogecoin? That's stupid. I'm like, well, you may have a point. Look at this. I don't know what your coin's doing. I've showed this a couple of times, but if you go back to coinmarketcap.com/historical and look at the top 30 cryptos, you can go all the way back to the 5th of January, 2014. Did you know Dogecoin was in the top 16? 16. So again, think about your awesome coin. How long has it been around? How long has it been in the top 20, in the top 10, in the top whatever? So that's just that one. 2015, it was number 9. In 2016, it was number 6. In 2017, it was, okay, it fell to 14. In 2018, it fell to 29. 2019, number 24. 2020, it fell all in on 31. 2021, it was ranked 26th. 2022, number 12. And today, it's still in the top 10. So tell me that's a crazy meme coin, right? Since 2014, almost been a decade. And I just will warn everybody, if Elon comes out and says, hey, Dogecoin is going to be one of the cryptos that we're going to pick as far as for the payments for X, that's big. And Jake Today says it right. Doge is a joke, but it was a good one. It seems to work out okay. Play DGen how much you want, but don't forget to sell them. Don't get married to an altcoin, as they say. Yusk says, what advantages, if any, if one kept buying stable coins to save up to buy at the end of the month or so on blue chips? There used to be a pretty big advantage for stables because you get yield on them. And that was great. So like there were people who they would put their company account into stable coins. Now, as time went on, depending on the actual exchange. But as far as for that, ease of use, it's very nice because you have your crypto there. You don't have it in the bank. Like let's say that you take your Bitcoin, you sell all your Bitcoin, you put it in stable coins. Then you take the stable coins, you say, I want cash. You take the cash. Now you're on a crypto exchange and you put it in your bank. Now something comes up, you're like, I want to buy crypto. Well, now you got to take the funds from your bank. And if it's over $10,000, they're going to ask you, what are you doing? What are you doing with your own money? Let us know because, we're the bank and we control everything. And then you got to use that to buy crypto. And now it's on this exchange and you just bought a ton of crypto and all these different fees. It's just like a constant merry-go-round. But if you keep things in stables and stable coins, it's easier to move things around. Also, I found it's very easy to use a lot of decentralized exchanges to get those crazy degen plays if you really want to get into that. So for me, I see that as the advantage. Downside is, the Luna stablecoin, which got depegged. So if you think that Tether is going to zero or USD is going to zero, then maybe it's not a good idea to put it into those stables. I personally don't think so, but I've been wrong before. I think we all know that. No, it's true. Sean says, the higher that a coin is gained in percentage, I would think that early investors are sitting on huge gains. And when and if people take profits, it's more risky to enter a meme coin. It's risky in everything. And that's what, those guys that manipulated the price, they just pretty much told everybody, don't you sell. We're going to sell at this point. When this point comes in, we're going to sell X percentage. You guys do what you want. That was manipulation. I got to stop talking about that because I'm going to get subpoenaed one of these days. What are you doing? We don't have your money because we lent it. You don't want your money. Hello, meme. Howdy. And Sandra got a good point. I always forget about this. This is my flaw. When you see countries with hyperinflation, stablecoins have huge, massive utility. It's true. Massive. It's even more important than Bitcoin, if you think about it. Because if you're in a third world country and Bitcoin goes down by 10, 20, 30%, which it seems to do or has done in the past, and you have to have the necessities of daily living, which one would you want to keep it in? Bitcoin or stable coins for the short term. Long term, of course, yeah, but it's a good point. Excuse me. Ooh, look at that. Sergey Nazarov, founder of Chainlink, is opening up the Swift CBOS conference tomorrow. Seems like a big deal. Could be. We'll find out. Yeah, I'm just getting over some things. Yeah. Crypto bid one. My strategy in meme coins was get your principal plus profit, let the rest parlay. Don't get married to it. That's one way to do it. Some people just want to take out their initial profits or their initial investment and let it all ride. And some people say, well, if I'm going to play this, if I'm going to play the ponies, I'm going to make X amount of percentage of profit and then get out. Just depends on what you want to do. And that's it. All right, everybody. So, jeez, we went an hour. So look, that's it for today. Thanks for hanging out with me on a Sunday. Now it's time for football and some other stuff. So thank you so much for stopping by. Like today's video, thumbs up, subscribe, all that great stuff. So thanks so much, everybody, and I will see you on the next one. Adios.